Pick the book. By Phil. Chapter 1, The Basement. The bass from the speakers rattled the old basement windows like they owed it money. Pip sat hunched over his cracked keyboard, fingers flying across the keys as a dark trap beat filled the air. The walls were covered in faded O-Block posters, Roblox screenshots, and sticky notes with half-written lyrics. Pip was 14, but he already carried the weight of the block on his shoulders. Skinny build, sharp eyes, and a silver Roblox chain swinging around his neck. This basement was his world, the one place where the violence outside couldn't touch him. Here, he turned pain into beats and dreams into video games. "Yo, Bob. Jump on this," Pip called out. Evil Bob exploded into the verse like a grenade. All black hoodie, red eyes emoji mask pulled halfway up his face, bouncing around the room like he had electricity in his veins. Evil Bob. O-Block to the server, Pip and Bob, we the worst ever. Saint Von watchin', we gon' make the Yoks regret it. Pip grinned and nodded along. Evil Bob wasn't just his best friend, he was his brother. The only person who matched Pip's ambition and chaos at the same level. The basement door creaked open. I brought tacos and juice boxes," said kind Kevin, stepping in carefully like he was entering a war zone. Kevin was the softest one in the crew, glasses, neat clothes, always trying to keep the peace. Behind him stood Stationary Stewart, leaning against the wall without moving a single extra inch. Stationary Stewart, flat voice, "I haven't moved since last Thursday." Energy conservation. Pip laughed. "Y'all crazy, man. But this the crew. PIP crew." Right on cue, the door flew open again and Joey strolled in like he owned the whole city. Fresh chains, new shoes, cocky grin. He had been Pip's day one friend since they were little kids dodging bullets and sharing one bike. "Joey, what's good, family? Y'all still down here cooking? We dropping this collab album this month or what?" The mood in the room shifted. Pip killed the beat and leaned back in his chair. "We was talking about that, but I don't think we should drop it right now." Evil Bob crossed his arms. "Because of what Gassy did to Gru." Joey's smile faltered for half a second. Kind Kevin spoke softly, "They locked Gru up. Just for talking. Incredible Gassy got the whole city and the internet scared of him." Pip's jaw tightened at the name. Incredible Gassy. The man who had everything: power, money, influence, and used it to destroy anyone who stood in his way. The same man who took King Bon from the streets. "They call him Saint Bon now," Pip said quietly. "Because he's still watching over us. But Gassy the reason he gone. And now he locking up people who speak out?" "Nah." The room got quiet except for the low hum of the computer fans. Stationary Stewart's smart move. Elbow hit harder later. Joey forced a laugh. "Y'all trippin'. We got heat right now. Gassy gets smoked, Saint Bon prayer, all that. We drop it and blow up. Get out the hood for real." Pip shook his head. "We wait. We build first. I'm still making games on Roblox. Getting better at the beats. We make the PIP crew strong, then we come for everything." Evil Bob grinned under his mask. "Then we go to war." Joey nodded slowly, but his eyes were distant. He glanced down at his phone for a second before slipping it back into his pocket. "Joey-ite, day one." "Whatever you say, Pip." "I'm writing dot." Pip stood up and dapped everyone up: Kevin, Stewart, Bob, and finally Joey, holding the grip a little longer. "This our year, bro," Pip told him. "We make it out together. PIP crew forever." Joey smiled. "Forever. Outside, the Chicago wind howled through the alley behind the house. Somewhere in the city, Incredible Gassy was moving, building his empire. But down in that basement, 4 kids and one who would soon change sides were building something of their own. Pip looked at the Roblox studio open on his screen, then at his friends. The war hadn't started yet. But it was coming. Chapter 2, What's in a Name? The next afternoon the basement felt smaller than usual. The PIP crew was sprawled across old bean bags and milk crates, half-empty Takis bags everywhere. A new beat Pip had cooked up the night before thumped low in the background. Pip stood in front of an old whiteboard he'd stolen from the school dumpster. Written at the top in big red marker, Pip Clue. "All right," Pip said, clapping his hands. "We official now. We need to lock the name in. PIP Clue. Pip in power. That's us." Evil Bob jumped up immediately, mask crooked on his face. "Pip Clue. That's hard. Sounds like we talking over the whole city." "I'm already writing the intro, PIP Clue, we the new drill." Kind Kevin raised his hand like he was in class. "I like it, but doesn't it sound kinda like we only care about Pip? We all in this together, right?" Stationary Stewart didn't move from his chair. "Too centered. Makes me sound like a background character." Pip frowned. "It's my vision though. I'm the one making the beats, building the Roblox games, and planning how we get out the hood. PIP Crew makes sense." Joey leaned against the wall, arms crossed, playing with the new chain around his neck. He had been quiet most of the day. "Pip right. It's his name on the line if Gassy comes after us. PIP Crew sounds strong. Dominant." Evil Bob tilted his head. "But we supposed to be a crew. Not Pip and the sidekicks. I bet we call it old Block Records or something. Kind Kevin nodded. Or St. Bond Society. To honor him." The argument exploded. Evil Bob St. Bond Society sounds like a church group. We making trap music in Roblox Tycoons, not praying. Stationary Stewart PP Productions. Everyone stopped and looked at him. PIP what? Stationary Stewart Pip Productions. Or Pip and Partners. But PP Productions sounds clean. Professional. Like we run in a real company instead of just some kids in a basement. Evil Bob laughed loud. PP Productions? That sounds like we sellin' PP. Kind Kevin tried not to laugh but failed. It does sound a little unfortunate. Pip rubbed his chin, thinking. He liked the idea of sounding like a real label. Something bigger than just a crew running from the streets. PIP Productions, I'm not mad at it. Shows we serious. We produce beats, games, videos, everything. PIP still in the name, but everybody eats. Joey stepped forward, smiling, but his eyes were calculating. I like it. PP Productions. Clean. But we still call ourselves the PIP Crew when we outside. 2 names. One for the streets, one for the bag. The room eventually agreed. Pip erased Pip Crew and wrote PP Productions in big letters. Evil Bob bet. But I'm still screaming Pip Crew when we pull up on the ops. Pip laughed and dapped everyone up. When he got to Joey, the handshake lingered. PIP, you've been real quiet today, bro. Everything good? Joey, smiling smoothly, yeah, I'm good. Just thinking about how we move smarter. Gassy got eyes everywhere. Maybe I should start linking up with some people on the low, feel out what his crew talking about. Act like I'm neutral. BR Mole, you feel me? Pip stared at him for a second, then nodded slowly. PIP, that's actually smart. If you can get close and bring back info, that helps us stay ahead of Gassy. But be careful, Joey. You mind day one. Don't get too deep in them streets. Joey, grinning, I got you, Pip. I'm writing for PP Productions. For the crew. They dapped it up again. But as Joey turned away to grab a soda, his smile faded for a split second. He already had a new text waiting on his phone from an unknown number. Later that night, while the rest of the crew played a new Roblox obby Pip had built, Joey stepped outside to take a call. He spoke low into the phone. Joey, quietly, yeah, they just changed the name to PP Productions. Pip's still paranoid about Gassy. They planning to drop music later. Nah, they don't suspect nothing yet. I'll keep you posted. He hung up, took a deep breath, and walked back inside like nothing happened. Down in the basement, Pip was laughing with Evil Bob and Kind Kevin while stationary Stuart sat motionless giving one-word compliments. For now, everything still felt like family. But the cracks had already started to form. Chapter 3, Visitation Day. Pip rode the bus alone, hood pulled low over his head, Roblox chain tucked inside his shirt. The county jail looked like a concrete fortress on the edge of the city. He hadn't told the rest of the crew he was coming, not even Evil Bob. This was something he needed to do by himself. Rue had been locked up for 3 weeks. The official charge was inciting violence, but everybody on the block knew the truth. He made one too many videos exposing incredible Gassy's operation. After going through metal detectors and getting patted down, Pip sat at a scratched-up table in the visitation room. A few minutes later, Gru walked in wearing an orange jumpsuit, looking thinner but still sharp-eyed. Gru grinned as he sat down. Lil Pip. You really came through. PIP, how you holding up in here, bro? Gru shrugged. It's cold. Food trash. But I'm alive. They got me in protective custody cause Gassy got people in here too. That ninja really thought locking me up would shut me up. Pip leaned in closer. We changed the name. It's PP Productions now. We still making beats and games. When you get out, you got a spot on the first album. We gon' make a track called Free Gru. Gru chuckled, but his eyes were serious. Gru listen, Pip. Gassy ain't playin'. He got the streets, the internet, even some guards in his pocket. He killed Saint Vaughn and smiled about it. You keep building, but stay dangerous. Don't trust nobody outside the crew. Not even. A loud buzzer cut him off. Visitation time was over. As Gru stood up, he gave Pip a nod. Tell Evil Bob I said keep that same energy. And watch Joey. He been moving funny lately. Pip's stomach tightened, but he nodded back. I got you. He watched Gru get escorted away before heading toward the exit. Outside the jail, the sky was already turning dark. Pip zipped up his hoodie and started walking toward the bus stop 2 blocks away. The street was quiet. Too quiet. He felt it before he saw them. A black SUV with tinted windows rolled up slow behind him. Pip picked up his pace, but 4 figures stepped out from an alley ahead, blocking his path. All of them wearing black Gassy's signature color. The biggest one, a tall guy with a scar across his cheek, smirked. Scarface, well. If it ain't the lil Roblox rapper. Pip, right? Pip stopped, heart pounding but face calm. 2 more guys came up from behind, trapping him in the middle of the sidewalk. PIP all lost or something? Scarface laughed. Gassy sends his regards. He heard you been talking crazy in that basement. Making songs about Saint Bon. Visiting Brew like you some activist. One of the guys behind Pip shoved him hard in the back. Goon 2, you think you building a crew? PP Productions? Cute. Gassy owns this city. You keep playing games on Roblox while we run the real world. Pip clenched his fists. He was outnumbered, but he refused to look scared. PIP, tell Gassy I said he only kills people when they can't fight back. Saint Bon's still the king. And when I drop my first project, the whole world gonna know what type of time y'all on. Scarface stepped closer, towering over Pip. Scarface, you got heart, lil nigga. But heart don't stop bullets. This your only warning. Drop the tough guy actor next time, we won't be talking. He nodded at his boys. One of them snatched Pip's Roblox chain from around his neck and tossed it to the ground. They climbed back into the SUV and peeled off, leaving Pip standing on the sidewalk. Pip picked up his broken chain, jaw tight with anger. His hands were shaking, but not from fear, from rage. He pulled out his phone and texted the group chat. PIP, just left crew. We got problems. Real ones. Meet at the basement tonight. He looked down the street where the SUV had disappeared. The war wasn't coming anymore. It had already started. Chapter 4, War Declared. Pip sprinted through the streets of O'Block like his life depended on it. The broken Roblox chain bounced in his pocket with every step. His lungs burned, but he didn't slow down. The black SUV was gone, but the threat still echoed in his head. He burst through the side door of his house and practically fell down the basement stairs. PIP, yelling, out of breath, war. The war just started. The whole crew jumped up. Evil Bob was already on his feet. Kind Kevin dropped his juice box. Even Stationary Stewart stood up, a rare event. Evil Bob, what happened? Talk. PIP, I went to see Gru. On my way out, Gassy's boys jumped me. Scarface and them. They snatched my chain, threatened me, said Gassy owns the city. It's official. They coming for us. Kind Kevin, eyes wide, oh no, what do we do? Joey, trying to look shocked, they put hands on you? For real? Pip nodded, still catching his breath. PIP, they said this was our only warning. But I ain't backing down. They just made it personal. Evil Bob's whole energy changed. His chaotic smile turned ice cold. He walked over to the corner of the basement and opened a black duffel bag hidden behind the old couch. Inside were masks, gloves, a couple of cheap walkie-talkies, and a metal baseball bat. Evil Bob scorched earth then. He pulled out his phone and started making calls on speaker. First call. Evil Bob, David Blunts. It's Bob. Wartime. Gassy's crew just jumped Pip outside the jail. Get everybody ready. We go in full scorched earth, no mercy. David Blunts, on speaker, deep voice, say less. I'll get the guys together. Tell Pip we right in dot. Second call. Evil Bob yee. Wake up, ninja. It's Bob. Gassy just declared war on the PIP crew, well, PP Productions. They touched Pip. We need you and your circle on standby. Scorched Earth Protocol. Ye, on speaker, bet. I'm loading up right now. Tell Pip stay dangerous. We'll handle the streets while y'all handle the games and music. Evil Bob hung up and looked at the crew, eyes wild behind his mask. Evil Bob, we not just sitting in this basement no more. We buildin' and we fightin' at the same time. Underscore 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 underscore. Meanwhile, across the city. Int. Incredible Gassie's penthouse, night. Incredible Gassie sat on a luxurious leather couch, surrounded by monitors. Scarface stood in front of him giving a report. Gassie, smiling coldly, so the little Roblox kid thinks he's tough? Visitin' grew and talkin' reckless? He picked up his phone and dialed a number. Gassie, into phone, yeah, it's me. Put me through to your executive team. Tell them Incredible Gassie is calling. He waited a few seconds, then his voice became smooth and professional. Gassie, hey, it's Gassie. Listen. I got some major concerns about your platform. 2 accounts in particular, one named Schlepp and another belonging to a kid who goes by Pip the Artist. They're spreading dangerous content, inciting violence, and harming the younger users. It's a serious safety issue. Yeah, I can send you the details right now. I'd hate for something to happen to Roblox's reputation. Gassie smiled as he hung up the phone. Gassie, to Scarface, by tomorrow morning, both of their accounts will be gone. Let's see how tough Pip is when he can't even log into his own games. Underscore 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 underscore. Back in the basement. Pip's phone started blowing up with notifications. He opened Roblox and his face dropped. Pip, no, no, no. Kind Kevin, what happened? Pip, voice shaking with anger, they banned me. And they banned Schlepp too. Just like that. Gassie called Roblox directly. I know he did. The crew went silent. Evil Bob slammed the baseball bat into the floor. Evil Bob, they want scorched earth? Cool. We gon' give them a nuclear winter. Pip stared at his banned Roblox account, eyes burning with fury. The war had officially begun. Chapter 5, The Great Mog-Off. Pip paced the basement like a caged animal, phone pressed to his ear. The rest of the crew watched him anxiously. His Roblox account was gone. Schlepp was gone. The war had moved from the streets to the internet, and Pip was ready to strike back. The line picked up. Pip. Clavicular? It's Pip. Yeah, from Roblox. Look, I need you, bro. Gassie just got me in Schlepp banned. He thinks he runs Roblox. I'm calling you in for the great Mog-Off. You versus Gassie. We turn this into a full mog battle. Whoever loses has to leave the platform forever. Clavicular, on speaker, calm and cocky. Say less. I've been waiting for this. I'll mog the soul out of that inflatable-looking villain. Set the date. I'll bring the aura. Pip hung up with fire in his eyes. The great Mog-Off is official. We talking this to the internet. Meanwhile, in Incredible Gassie's penthouse. Scarface stood in front of Gassie's massive desk, fists clenched. Scarface. Boss, we can't just ban a couple accounts. We gotta go nuclear. Call David again. Tell him to lock every Roblox moderator in the war room. Don't let a single one out until every fan of Schleppin' Pip is found, banned, and shipped straight to Gassy camp. Incredible Gassy leaned back in his chair, smiling. Gassy, I like the way you think. Make the call. Back in Pip's basement. A new face had joined the crew, a short, energetic kid wearing a yellow Minion hoodie. Everyone just called him Minion. Minion was already on his laptop, typing furiously. Minion. They wanna play Lockdown? Bet. I'm organizing the resistance right now. He started making calls on Discord, voice calm but determined. Minion. 1x1x1x1, it's Minion. We need you. John Doe, Cole Kid, y'all in? Good. Gideon, wake up, Ninja. We need you to block every Roblox moderator you can find. Crash the system. Do what y'all do. He switched to another call. Minion. Creekcraft, it's time. You, Young Homer, and Ty Dolla $ign raid Roblox headquarters. They got moderators locked up. Free them. We go in full scorched earth on the inside. Downtown Chicago, later that night. Gideon, masked up and moving like a shadow, caught Scarface slipping outside a corner store. Before Scarface could react, Gideon was in his face for the camera. Gideon. Yo, Scarface. Why you got them deleted search histories, bro? Why the kids always running from you? Pedophile behavior. He went full Gideon mode, loud, chaotic, and relentless. Scarface tried to swing on him but slipped and fell in the process. The whole thing was live-streamed. Within minutes, the clip went viral. But no cops came. No arrest. Gassy had already paid them off. Scarface got away, furious and embarrassed, while Gideon laughed and ran off into the night. Back in the basement. Pip stood in the middle of the room as reports flooded in. PIP. Clavicular locked in for the Mog-Off. Minion got the hackers moving. Creek and them raiding HQE. Gideon just quick Scarface alive. Evil Bob. Grinning wildly. This is what I'm talking about. PP Productions vs Gassy Empire. We really at war now. Kind Kevin. Nervous. Are we gonna be okay? Stationary Stuart. Still barely moving. Probably not. Minion. Looking up from his laptop. Doesn't matter. They banned us. Now we burn their whole system down. Pip cracked his knuckles, eyes glowing with determination. PIP. Tell everybody, the Great Mog-Off is happening soon. And when it's over, only one side will be left standing. The basement buzzed with chaotic energy as the crew prepared for the biggest internet war Roblox had ever seen. Chapter 6, The Great Breakout. Pip and Joey moved through the shadows behind the county jail under a moonless sky. They had a stolen guard uniform, bolt cutters, and a terrible plan. PIP. Whispering. This is it, bro. We get Gru out tonight. PP Productions needs him. You ready? Joey. Yeah. I'm ready. They slipped through a side gate Joey somehow knew was unlocked. Pip didn't question it. They reached Gru's cell block when everything went wrong. Lights flashed. Multiple footsteps echoed. Starface stepped out from behind a corner with 6 henchmen, including a greasy, wild-eyed goon named Roadkill. Scarface. Grinning. You really thought you could break somebody out my boss's jail? Cute. Roadkill. He cackling. We've been waiting all night, lil Roblox boys. PIP. Heart dropping. Joey. Joey stepped back, no longer pretending. His face twisted into a smirk. Joey. I was never really your friend, Pip. Not like that. You always thought you was better than everybody. And low-key? I think you gay, gang. PIP. Angry and confused. Gang, I'm not gay. What the fuck is wrong with you? Before Pip could process the betrayal, Clavicular came flying out of nowhere like a superhero, swinging a wild haymaker at Scarface. Clavicular. Mog that. Scarface dodged, grabbed Clavicular by the collar, and slashed him across the face with a hidden blade, leaving a deep, ugly scar. Scarface. Laughing. With all this publicity, I'm gonna be able to drop my own album now. Scarface tapes coming soon. Clavicular stumbled back, holding his bleeding face. The heavy doors at the end of the hall opened. Incredible Gassy himself walked in wearing an expensive coat, smiling like a shark. Gassy. Pip. 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 I told you this was how the business works. It's just business from now on. And I am standing on it. Without warning, Gassy turned around, bent over slightly, and ripped a long, hissing, toxic fart that filled the entire hallway. The smell was lethal. Pip grew, still in his cell, and Clavicular all dropped to their knees, coughing and gagging. Their vision blurred. The gas burned their lungs. Gassy. Walking away casually. That much gas should be lethal. Handle the rest, boys. As Pip felt himself slipping into darkness, a new voice echoed down the hall. Kanye. We don't have to worry, and we don't have to hide your mind from mine. Kanye West came through like a savior in a black hoodie, waving his arms dramatically and somehow clearing the gas with what looked like a portable air purifier in sheer aura. He dragged Pip, Clavicular, and helped Gru out of the now unlocked cell. Kanye. Y'all almost died in the gas chambers. Not today. Back at the basement, hours later. Pip sat on the old couch, still smelling faintly of Gassy's weaponized fart. His eyes were bloodshot with pure rage. The entire crew, minus Joey, was gathered. Gru was free but exhausted. Clavicular's fresh scar was bandaged. Even Kanye sat in the corner nodding to an unheard beat. PIP. Voice cold. Joey's dead to us. He's with Gassy now. He stood up slowly. PIP. No more small mules. We collapsed Gassy's entire empire. His money, his influence, his Roblox connections, everything. We hid him from the streets, the internet, and the industry at the same time. When we're done, there won't be anything left for him to stand on. Evil Bob. Grinning. Scorched Earth? PIP. Nuclear. Minion. I'll get the hackers ready again. GRU. I got the streets. Kanye. And I got the vision. Pip looked at what remained of his crew, battered, scarred, but unbroken. The war had entered a new phase. And this time, Pip wasn't playing defense anymore. Chapter 7, Legacy and Betrayal. Pip sat in the corner of the basement, still shaken from the prison disaster. He opened his laptop and made a call. PIP. Bradar? It's Pip. I need you to cook something crazy. Make an AI image futuristic Neon City at night. Show Gassy as a monster, killing innocent civilians while laughing. Make it dark, make it viral. We gotta make him look evil. Bradar. Say less. Dropping it in 30 minutes. The image dropped and spread like wildfire. Within hours, hashtag Gassy is a monster was trending. Clips of Gassy's past antics mixed with Bradar's haunting visual. His popularity took a major hit. Sponsors started pulling back. Even some of his own fans were disturbed. While the crew celebrated the small victory, Roadkill snuck into the basement through a broken window. He moved silently, grabbed stationary Stewart, who was sitting motionless in his usual chair, threw a bag over his head, and dragged him out. Nobody noticed for hours. After all, it was just stationary Stewart. Later that same night, Dexter, a quiet, unhinged figure who had been lurking on the edge of the crew, slipped into the location where Joey was hiding. He jammed the horse tranquilizer into Joey's neck before he could react and dragged his body onto a table. Joey woke up strapped down, eyes wide with terror. Joey. Wait. I can still be useful. A message came through on Dexter's phone, Donald Trump offering Joey a presidential pardon in exchange for flipping on Gassy. But Dexter simply smiled coldly. Dexter. Too late. He finished the job. The next morning, word reached the basement. Pip froze when he heard. His eyes welled up with tears. He tried to hold them back but couldn't. P.I.P. Voice cracking. He betrayed me, but he was still my brother from day one. We built this from nothing together. That same night, Pip dropped a raw, emotional song called Joey, a mix of pain, memories, and goodbye. It was the most honest track he had ever released. But Gassy wasn't done. While the song was still climbing, Gassy's team hacked Pip's Spotify artist account. They uploaded an entire album titled Incredible Gassy under Pip's name, full of diss tracks, taunting skits, and produced by Gassy himself. The cover was a picture of Gassy laughing over Pip's Roblox chain. Pip tried desperately to take it down. He called his tech team over and over. No one answered. His phone started blowing up with hate messages. Everyone believed Pip had killed Joey out of revenge. The only person who still stood by him was Evil Bob. Evil Bob. I know you didn't do it, Pip. They setting you up. Pip tried going live to explain what happened, but the comments flooded with hate. They killed Joey. Pip snitched. You just scared of what you did. That night, something shifted in the crew. Gassy's toxic influence, his brown passenger, seemed to overpower everything, even Dexter's cold, dark passenger. The evil in the air had won this round. By morning, several newer members of the crew, including Minion and a couple others, gathered in secret. Minion. Nah. Pip's losing it. He's scared. We saw what he did to Joey. We gotta take him down before he drags all of us with him. One by one, they turned. The empire Pip had built was starting to crumble from the inside.